Nemesis, a short distance runner. Okay. Ganduje was the prototype, Alagbara Memero we say in Yoruba. This interprets as the maximally muscular, minimally reasonable. He fought a few other prominent Kano leaders during his heydays in government house. Recall he carried his unabated squabbles with one of his predecessors, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, to his state house, Asobila, during the early weeks of the Bola Tinubu government. Told on one occasion that Kwankwaso was in a particular section of Aso Rock, same time as he was in the complex. A vexed Ganduje said Kwankwaso should consider himself fortunate. He said Ganduje, would have slapped Kwankwaso if he sighted him in the villa. That would have caused a scene in Nigeria's seat of power. I'm now just imagining how Tinubu will be trying to restrain Ganduje in the forecourt of the office of the president, while Vice President Kashim Shettima will be pulling at Kwankwaso Sagbada in a bid to manage the situation. Ganduje reportedly considers Sanusi too independent-minded and outspoken for a natural ruler. Sanusi was the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, before being appointed emir in 2015. He had always had a radical streak about him, which culminated in his suspension as the CBN head in 2014 for blowing the whistle on the theft of $20 billion in accruals from crude oil sales. As emir, he considered aspects of the religious and cultural practices of his emirate repugnant. He opposed the ultra-conservative interpretation of Islam in some parts of northern Nigeria, which discouraged girl child education, family planning, even inoculation against potential healthcare afflictions. He had reservation about the style of Ganduje as governor and did not put a veil over his dislike for the return of Ganduje to Government House in 2019. He believed Ganduje should not have made it back if the poll was fairly and transparently conducted. March 9, 2020, Ganduje appointed Sanusi. He suspended Sanusi. He was accused of negatively impacting the sanctity, culture, tradition, religion, and prestige of a Kano Emirate and disrespecting the governor's office. He was also alleged to have disposed of property belonging to the state and misappropriated of the proceeds. It was a case of digging federal manholes for a prey in a bid to ensure he falls into one of the several traps. He was summarily banished to Nasarawa State for effect. Sanusi sought reprieve on the court, which ruled it was an overkill to fling him to a remote community far away from his community, far away from his far away from his family and more accustomed home in Lagos. Within a few days, Nasarawa Rufai, Sanusi's long-standing friend who was governor of Kaduna State, personally enforced the evacuation of Sanusi from our local government area in Nasarawa State. For whatever his contributions were to the emergence of Tinubu as president after the 2023 polls, Ganduje believed he would be compensated with a ministerial loss in the former regime, like Nyesom Wike, David Omahi, Muhammad Badar Abubakar, Atiku Bagudu, Simon Lalong, former governor of Rivers, Ebonyi, Jigawa, Kebbi and Plateau State. Ganduje dusted his curriculum vitae to pitch for a slot on Tinubu's Federal Executive Council. His 5 colleagues in the 2015 to 2019-2023 class of governors made the cut, but not Ganduje. Tinubu spontaneously made him the chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, the vehicle which delivered him as president. Abdullahi Adamu, his predecessor and former governor of Nasarawa State, has now become standard practice in Nigeria's notorious political rulebook, was schemed out and compelled to resign from office. If Ganduje ever thought his chairmanship of the APC was going to be a walk in the park, he was thoroughly mistaken. Indeed, he's grossed sufficient experience in the present office to know that there are sharp differences between wholesale installation in government house and the inevitable exposure of party leadership. Last April, a faction of the APC in Ganduje's primary, Ganduje ward in Dawakin Tofa local government area of his home state, Kano, suspended him from the party. Haladu Gwojo, legal advisor of Ganduje's ward, led some party leaders to pronounce the suspension. They advocated the return of a national chairmanship of the APC to the North Central Zone, where Ganduje's predecessor Adamu hails from. The young Tusk canvassed due process in party administration, consistent with the renewed hope. Mantra of the APC. Ganduje made a hurried recourse to the law courts for momentary reprieve. Thursday, May 23, 2024, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi was reinstated as Emir of Kano by Ganduje's successor in Kano State, Abba Yusuf. His cousin and successor, Aminu Ado Bayari, was unceremoniously removed from office. The splinter emirate created by Ganduje in his bid to whittle down Sanusi's authority as prime monarch in Kano was similarly dissolved. The edifice which Ganduje built 4 years ago was apparently built of straw and spittle. Governor Abba Yusuf is a political product of the Kwankwasiya political tendency in Kano politics, a creation of Rabiu Kwankwaso. Those who know a little about Nigerian politics will recall that Kwankwaso's emergence in our politics predict the Fourth Republic. He was an ardent student of the Talakawa political orientation, pioneered by the venerable Kano-born leader Aminu Kano. Kwankwaso was Deputy Speaker in the House of Representatives of the Ibrahim Babangida political experimentation of 1992 to 1993. Whereas the Kwankwasiya movement had been long entrenched, it was not until the run-up to the 2023 election that Kwankwaso adopted a new platform, the New Nigeria's People's Party, on which he is espousing the populist philosophy of the Kwankwasiya Brigade. Abba Yusuf wrote to the office on the back of this invention. It was the same way Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, the famous Biafran warlord, established the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, in Anambra State. The party has remained the force on the policies of state, and indeed the Southeast. It has produced 3 Anambra governors in succession. Notably, Peter Obi, Willie Obiano, and the incumbent Chukwuma Soludo. Abba Yusuf has made no pretenses about his disdain for Ganduje and everything he represents. Much as some of Yusuf's early action in office were generally perceived as wasteful, he nonetheless brought down as many edifices in Kano as bore the imprimatur of Ganduje, the Kano Golden Jubilee Roundabout built to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the creation of Kano State, and structures built inside the Filling Sokowa Kano Race Course were hewn on Yusuf orders. The Hajj camp, which was reportedly bastardized by Ganduje, who allegedly parcels parts of it to his friends and associates, was equally failed. There were suggestions that the venue of the demolitions carried out by Yusuf could be in excess of 200 billion naira. Such is an anti-Ganduje sentiment in contemporary Kano State. The way and manner the legacies of the Abdullahi Ganduje are reveling in Kano State should serve as a lesson to the short-sighted, incapable of seeing beyond the bridges of their nose. History is replete with the deconstruction of many leaders after the rulership, and indeed keeps repeating itself in our socio-political experience. Those who are not circumspect, however, are too distracted by the allure and bliss of their immediate office to think. They continue to drift, blunder and flounder, unmindful that time is the ultimate nemesis. Gandhi is just 1 year out of office, yet many of the decisions he made while in power for 8 years are being unmade and thrown at his face like rotten tomatoes. Alright, on this note, you have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.